Okay, and there we go. Hello. This is a video, sort of like a test video to see, how more long form, content, or I guess videos, would be, for me, whether or not I just like them or not, like making them, ooh, I almost wanted to do the double tap like you can do on, like you can do in Procreate, but yeah, just to see how I like this, making videos like this, and also kind of just figuring out how to do art like this on the computer. I mean, I do art on Procreate. Sometimes I used to do it a lot more than I do it now. But yeah, so this is a little test guy. I was actually watching Gabriel Quinn, I believe his name is, has a lot of live streams. I feel like I'm getting too in the weeds here with these little guys. It's hard to talk and sort of draw at the same time. But yeah, and in his live streams he was doing this thing like Fish World, and I was like, I love sort of aquatic settings, either if it's like a coastal town or like I was such a Haiti wanna play mermaids kid, so I sort of got inspired by that, and I wanted to make this fish person. So I was thinking that it would basically be, I've noticed that in the Finder in OBS, they look a little bit more stretched out than they do on my iPad. I wonder how that video is going to turn out. Anyway, but I'm not too worried about it. This is just more for fun. But, yeah, I love aquatic mermaid stuff, and so I was thinking for this guy that it was sort of like a Shannara Chronicles, where it was like far in the future, the world as we know it is vastly different, and sort of fantasy stuff has happened to like our future world, and so I was thinking that like humanity sort of evolved into different strands. Like there might be like these fish people, there might be like bird people, like if the world, I don't know, flooded because of climate change or whatever, that some people would go to the sea, some people would go to like the sky, maybe, and I think that would be sort of a fun thing to explore. I think they could kind of have like a hip bone right here, right? Yeah, that looks okay. And so then this is sort of that evolutionary process. Like this isn't a full mermaid, right? They've still got these elbow and knee joints that they don't quite need still, but they do have gills, but they can still breathe air a little bit. You know, they still have the capacity for human speech, but maybe they can do like some forms of like clicking and a bit of like an echolocation underwater that they do. like for themselves, but then when they try to talk to other people in the world that aren't fish people, they've gotta use like the common language, you know, that kind of stuff. I feel like that would be fun. Yeah, something about the hair. Maybe it's because it's in like, it's like too stiff. I need to figure that out, because, you know, hair underwater is very fluffy and floaty. But yeah, I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. I'm just going to sort of try it out. It's currently almost 9 p.m. and it's after work, you know. Went to the gym, I got ready for bed and all that stuff, and now I'm just in my pajamas, and I'm like, you know what, the few hours before bed, I can do this, and see how it goes. So this is more of just a test for how this process goes. And almost like how my even just technical setup is, because right now I have my my PC and I'm using OBS, and I got this app that lets me use my iPad as a second desktop, and then I downloaded Fire Alpaca on my PC. Like, I'm not even using Clip Studio Paint or anything, which I have gotten and tried out a little bit. I don't think that the hand would be like this. I mean, one thing about the hand is it's already very difficult to draw, and now I've made a hand that isn't like a human hand, but isn't quite like a... I think I have more going for me with this one than I do with the other one, because there would be a sort of thumb here and sort of fingers here, but I feel like there would definitely be claws going on. That looks like a finger. Yeah, and so then I thought in this moment, you sort of catch them trying to maybe get some dinner from the school of fish. Yeah, I think maybe, I mean, it's fine if the hands are too big, because this is an ocean monster. No, well, you know, maybe not monster, maybe monster's a harsh word. A monster buddy, yeah. A monster friend. A ocean friend. That's not what that looks like. I feel like, maybe since they're closing in on this specific fish, we've got to pull out the sort of box method. I think that their hand would be turned like this way, because it's trying to sort of catch this fish. Right, so this one's a bit above, and this one's coming in on the side, trying to nab this fish. So and the thumb is always on the inside. That's an important thing to know. Then they would have gills like this. I didn't really even draw this as like a thumb. I kind of drew it upside down too. Nope. That's better, because that would be the flat side, that would be the pad of the thumb. Okay, no. I'm also not looking at any references right now. This is just sort of a chill. Now there's this guy right there. And then the wrist bone. And then this guy. You know, this isn't anything super serious. I'm not really looking up references or anything. I'm just sort of doodling. Which is something that I definitely need to do more of. Just sort of a casual drawing. I don't really do that super often. So this is also an instance where, you know, I'm trying to... Oh, that... I really like the sort of shape I made there. Where I'm trying to draw as just sort of a casual doodling more often. So I'm using this as an excuse to do that. Well, not necessarily an excuse, just sort of like a way to get myself to do it, because I don't really want to see it as like a, I don't know, responsibility, because then it would just be like, oh, this is work that I have to get done. I feel like no, if they're like grasping something, you don't see it. My hands are like, I'm using my hands as sort of a reference point. It would be coming through this way, I think. But then the pinky is smaller, so it would be like back there. That's getting a bit confusing, I think. Thinking about things in three-dimensional space and trying to put them in a two-dimensional space can sometimes be difficult. And I'm also not really good at drawing hands. Well, you know, that's what everybody says. Oh, I'm not good at drawing hands. But then some people will just like whip out the most beautiful hands you've ever seen. And be like, oh, I'm not really that good at it. Also, fun fact. The wall of my bedroom is, shares a wall with, the garage. And so then on that back part of the garage is the like air conditioning unit and the heater and also like a fridge. And so the air conditioner just turned on and it shares the wall. It's like a foot away from the mic right now. So that's what you hear. And then also probably like the fan of my computer, I think, the mic also picks up. And a bunch of other things. I also have like a super squeaky chair. So it's definitely not an ideal instance. I am thinking of, because I'm recording this on OBS right now. So, because I do have Audacity, you know, I downloaded it. I mean, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, it's free to download, and, you know, I can do whatever and, like, dick around on it. And that's kind of fun. So the way that I'm doing this is weird because it would make the pinky taller than the pointer finger, which isn't quite how it works. Isn't quite how it works. It's not how it works at all. 2, 3, 4. I think I'm making the pose for the hand too complicated. And I can just do like this little thingy, you know? And that would be fine. Let's come back to it. I like the idea that they're wearing like wrappings, or like I mean, you know how Ariel would like find stuff from the human world and be like, ooh, this is cool, I'm gonna use it. I think that this this person did a similar thing where they like found, you know, either clothes or even just like scraps of fabric and then put it on them while, you know, maybe some of their other counterparts wear like, I mean, well, the only thing that I can think of really of like sea creatures being able to wear is like seaweed and coral and clamshells and things like that. I mean, maybe there's some type of fiber that they could make into like a, yeah, I mean, like with like seaweed, maybe they, you know, just don't, you know, wrap seaweed around their bodies, but maybe they make like a fabric with it down there somehow. And like that's what they wear, but then this person's like, no, I've got this super cool human cloth that's made out of this thing called linen or cotton or something, and the other people are like, why are you even wearing that down here? It's gonna degrade so quickly. But there's some people that's like, it's like a subculture of like, ooh, I've got human stuff. See, this one, I made them have an ankle on this one, but then I didn't give them an ankle here. Maybe that's like one thing that's almost like wisdom teeth. Like it's like ankle joints are currently in the process of like evolving out. And so some people have them, some people don't, some people sort of have them. That would be so funny if, like, you know, your grandparents were like, back in my day, you know, everybody had ankle joints. And we were all in pain because swimming was weird with our ankle joints. And they're like, I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Stop talking about your ankle joints. That kind of looks weird. Maybe this fin is like up here. Like this is like fully, like here's the... I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too dang bad. Get out of here. Okay. How does a leg being foreshortened in like a mid-dynamic pose work? You know, that's always the question that we have to ask ourselves. It's kind of like a... This guy is a thigh, and this guy is sort of here. But that doesn't quite work with this guy because he is part fish. So there's a little bit of guessing work that you have to make. You've got to do enough to make people go, oh, okay, that seems like it could be possible. I feel like maybe I need to make, because this one seems like a pretty stiff fin, but this one seems like pretty loosey-goosey. So maybe I have to meet somewhere in the middle for them to make sense. But I really, yeah, I think I've got to make this guy a bit sturdier, maybe. And then maybe make this guy a little bit looser, like, oh wait. So if this is being kicked, like let's say this is being kicked back, and it's this is being kicked up, and it's just about to be kicked back down. So that means that like, it's kind of this way. No, that doesn't look good. Never mind. Maybe it's like just before that happens. And like this one's going a little bit to the side so you can see it like whoosh, right there. I mean, this isn't gonna be like really a finished drawing, it's more of scribbles, but maybe it'll be a little finished guy at one point. I don't know. This guy's going straight into the herd trap. Whoops. And then these other guys are getting the heck out of there. They're like, peace out. I'm not gonna draw like a whole school of fish. That doesn't sound like fun to me. You know, I don't have to draw it if it doesn't sound like fun. My like own lines are confusing me. So this is a finger. Okay. This is another finger. Nope. That seems like it could work. Yeah, it definitely looks a little bit stretched out on like my OBS viewing monitor. I'm not sure why. Okay, I think I'm gonna like completely redo this hair fluff and see. Like, let's see. They're like they're definitely coming forward a little bit. Whoops. I once again did the double tap like on Procreate, which doesn't work here. It would be like, I'm almost thinking of like a little, yeah, I think it would be like a little floof like this. Like, I think they might be coming up a little bit. I don't think the curly cues right here, right? I've got to keep these shapes simple to sort of get the point across. It's almost like a little like onion or garlic shape, I think. Like a little, you know, if you want to look at a more complicated but fun shapes, so look at concept artists. If you want to look at how to simplify shapes, look at animators, or like the final product or whatever the concept art was for. I feel like these, once again, it's these guys that are kind of, maybe it's just one, and I don't know, that looks kind of weird too. Maybe I should look at the way like Ariel's hair looks. Yeah, let's do some, oh, hold on, there's my mouse. Let's look up Ariel's hair floating in water. I can spell. Okay. That sort of gave me what I was looking for, but not really. I mean, her hair is just in general, like, very fluffy, even when, like, she came out of the water. I think that looks fine for what I want to do. Once again, I'm trying to do the Procreate double tap every time. Oh gosh. It's fine. Yeah, and I'm not sure exactly how long this video is gonna go for. I think just sort of until, you know, I get tired, or like my hand hurts too much, or, you know, something like that. My headphones die. You know, there could be a world of reasons why I stop. But, yeah, that's kind of a fun shape. Yeah. It's fun. And then I think, how do you... How do you transform? There's no edit transform. I don't see the transform there. I know that I've done this before in this freaking program. Okay, I think I have got to use the lasso tool, that's it, and then I can do a little transform here, just so I have sort of space. Oh, you can just sort of rotate it however, huh? And then you gotta hit OK. Okay. You know, I'm still learning how to use Fire Alpaca. Yeah, it's definitely... I wonder where that is. I apologize for the change in size. I was just trying to figure out if I had stretched the view somehow. But I think it's just OBS being weird. So we're gonna have to deal with it. Let's do a bit of coloring, I think. Or should we... do line art? Here we go. How light can I get away with the line art being? I think that I try to make the line art super light whenever I do things digitally, because like sometimes the, you know how there's that whole thing of like, oh, the oops, I didn't change it back to the brush. It's like, ooh, the, like, I thought it looked really good, and then like I took off the sketch layer and it did not look as good as I wanted. It's usually because you had the, oh, I say you, I don't know if you person, the, you know, 5 people listening to this have ever done this, but a lot of times that's because the sketch is like too dark, and I wasn't the, you know, person that figured that out or whatever. You know, that's been said before. And then I think, like, just, I really like the idea of, like, you know, this is like a full-on predator. And they got the very big eyes. Almost like a cat. But the ocean version. I find something about that very fun. That, like, the, you know, eyes can be like sort of like the very cutesy, like, but then they can also go into like the, or maybe even like they'll do like a, and then you know that, like, oh, I'm gonna die. Yeah. Their eyes go into pinpricks and they'll like elongate their fangs and just chomp. Speaking of fangs, I'm not sure how well those come across. I mean, they're very pixelated, you know. Look at that. But Hmm. Maybe I can just do that, and that'll get that point across without being like too... I realize I've made like a kind of a like cute face, which wasn't necessarily my intention, but I'm not mad about it, you know? I feel like it's a very fun, I guess, juxtaposition to have like a you know, very predator like sort of character, or like a, I don't know, animalistic type character, but they're also very cute, you know, like a cat or something of that nature. You know, and I'm not being super stiff with the line art. You know, I'm gonna deal with the hair later, maybe. Maybe I won't even get to it. Who knows? Should their little tank top say something? Like, should it be like an old graphic tee or something that they found? I feel like that could be kind of fun. I do like the texture on this brush, but it does kind of, I mean, I just did the, I don't know how big this canvas is, or like what the DPI on it is or anything like that. Should I look that up? Environment settings, is that what that is? Image size, canvas size. Oh, 350 DPI. So we're doing pretty good. What is constrained proportions? I'll figure that out. Maybe at a later date. Who knows? You know, the mysteries of Fire Alpaca to me are endless. One thing that I did look up is how to get like a Fire Alpaca dark mode, and I saw that you can, but you have to buy it. I'm like, oh, that kind of defeats the point of why I got it in the first place. If I'm gonna buy a drawing software for my PC, I would just buy Clip Studio Paint. Oh, I actually like that. Now you might be thinking to yourself, a real finger can't do that. And you might be right, except for I'm like double jointed in like my fingers and stuff. And so my fingers do kind of make this weird shape. So I think that's also one of the reasons why it's sometimes difficult for me to draw hands, because I'm like, why does this look weird on a hand? Like, my hand does that. But no normal hand would be in a pose like that, or this. But, yeah. But feasibly, my hand can do it. One thing that, for like hands in particular, is like the what's it called? I mean, it's kind of like the like princess method, or like the doll method. Like, there's basically like a finger right here, and then you've got your two fingers right here, and then you've got like your pinky, and then there's, you know, a hand. A very beautiful one, I may say. But you can kind of like lump your middle finger and ring finger together like that. And so if you're like, I don't know what to do with these two fingers, you can usually have them doing pretty much the same thing. I mean, because that's kind of what hands do, which is why, you know, you see it so common in cartoons and like, you know, Disney princess stuff. Because it's simple and it works and it makes sense. I do need to do something with this freaking guy. Maybe he's over here. Yeah, that makes sense. And then these, yeah, let's just do a full on. Let's just do this method full on, and that'll work. And then we've got our I've noticed that they aren't really looking at the fish, so I'm gonna bring their eyes down a little bit. I'm not gonna do anything like crazy. Maybe put like a little. Yeah, that looks okay. I kind of made a bit of a tangent for myself there. So I think I'll make this guy come more in like this. So then it'll cut this guy off like right there. What's the difference between this guy and this guy? Oh, it does a little bit of that. Okay. Oh. Sorry, now I'm just testing out the different pens. I feel like that one's too gritty for me. Yeah, there's a lot of different... Oh, and then that's pretty useful. I'm getting distracted. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's something about this guy's texture that I'm not sure about. I wonder if I can look up like which pen in Fire Alpaca is like G Pen in Clip Studio Paint. Oh, and also another fun thing is that when people just, open and close the door to the garage that's right next to my room, it like shakes this whole wall a little bit. So that's a fun little fact. Yeah, one thing is like this little pat of the thumb is very fun to sort of draw, and then also obviously like the fingernail you can really have fun with to like figure out like perspective, or like if you're ever trying to figure out what way like a finger is sort of facing, then drawing the fingernail will always help. Well, at least it should. I think that's, pretty decent. Is this hand just generally bigger than this hand? Yeah, for sure. It's a lot bigger. And the wrist is also a lot wider. Why did I do that? Hold on. Yeah, it'll be easier to just make this guy smaller than... Oh. There we go. I think that's about the same size, but then I do have to make the... Oh. I always forget that and then deselect. Okay. And then I've got to make the... Yeah, I didn't think... This hand is better. Yeah. This hand is better than this hand. But this arm is better than this arm. But it's all about balance, and I feel like if one arm is good, then having the hand be bad and the other hand be good to sort of balance that out, is a sacrifice that we'll have to make. Yeah, and then I went ahead and did like this weird sketchy stuff. Aggressive tapping. I just have to... I made the elbow so far up. I think the problem with this is that there's this foreshortening happening, so that the elbow is kind of right here, and the like bicep area, yeah, the bicep area is coming out right here, and the, do you draw a line? Yeah, because the bicep area is coming out right here, and then there's this foreshortening happening right here. That exists because foreshortening exists, and it's the thing that we have to once again deal with every day of our lives. You and your family may be entitled to financial compensation if you've had to deal with foreshortening. No. Okay. I just think I made this guy really, really fucking long for some reason. I think this guy should probably just be over here. Yeah, now I'm working on all of my proportion problems when I'm doing the line art. See, this is another thing. Don't let, at any point in the process, don't say, oh, I can't fix that, or oh, I can't change that. Because you can. You can fix and change stuff all the time, at any step of the way. Even if you think that it's like supposed to be done at that point, you can still change stuff. You can always change stuff. I mean, unless it's like, you know, you've already printed 50 copies of it or whatever. But, you know, I'm still changing stuff. That's a really skinny form, but I'm making them like really sort of gangly, so that's fine. That, I don't know how I feel about that. Let's just... I think the problem might be this little shoulder head, because I think the shoulder might be behind the head. And oh yeah, okay. No? No, well, yes. Hold on. You know, you can put a lot of stuff just in black and just let the viewer's mind do all the work, and it'll be fine. I do think if this guy is super up here, like they're like hunched over, kind of like, I'm gonna catch a fish. Because this shoulder is super, maybe it's because this guy is like, oh god, where am I? Maybe it's because like this guy should be like right here, right? Or maybe like this guy's like, this bone might be like too far away from the actual, I think that's it. I think that's it. And then we can just push that like a little bit that way. And then just add a shadow there to compensate for our mistakes. And then don't make them like have like a shoulder pad for a shoulder. A sip of water, and we're back. Trying to figure out like the sort of wraparound shorts that I gave them. I was kind of inspired by like what is it? In Tears of how did I get over here? I might have to get a new like what is it? The little glove guy. If he's not working. Well, I mean, like, he's like, he is falling apart, like his seams are coming out. I do think that, like, I'm not sure how I feel about, like, because this guy for some reason looks pretty smooth, but these guys for some reason look very textured. So I'm not sure how I feel about this brush, but I mean it was the default Fire Alpaca brush. So I know that there's like a big library similar to, you know, Procreate and Clip Studio, where you can like download brushes that people have made and stuff. So I might literally just like search for like G Pen or you know, something like G Pen and see what I can find, because I feel like the good pen is the good pen, and you know, my favorite dip pen to use is the G Pen. My favorite Clip Studio pen is the good pen. Oh boy. Once again, I did the double tap. I did the Procreate double tap. I apologize if my just spinning the canvas all around is bothering anybody. My hand is getting a bit tired, I will say. I did kind of want to get at least the liner done, but we'll see. I'll kind of just do, no, that looks weird, because there's kind of like a, I mean, that looks fine. I'm getting too, I feel like the issue now is I'm getting past that, oh, this is just a little fun doodle, and now I'm like, this is art that I'm going to be judged for. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about those lines, but that's okay, because we're gonna get to the fun part, which is the little fun hair shapes. that are like these very swishy. Oh, that one like kind of lined up perfectly. That's kind of cool. I mean that was a completely intentional thing that I did. Yeah, I really like it when hair shapes are kind of like these sort of rounded triangles. Like they're not necessarily like sharp edges, but they can be. Like think like Treasure Planet or like Atlantis. I really like those. I think that those are really fun shapes to sort of work with. That doesn't look right. If anything, like this guy would be right there. There we go. Yeah, and then we can just sort of make little fishy guys. And they don't have to be anything crazy, except not like that, because that was bad. I'm just gonna make little fish shapes. Just to show. Oh, no, actually not that one. That one was bad. There. Perfect little fishes. And now we can get to... See, and like you can hardly tell the difference between the sketch layer being on and off. I mean, you know, the line art isn't anything to write home about, but... Oh, that duplicates it? That's not what I wanted to do. Add new layer. There we go. Yeah, so that's like almost an airbrush. I would say not a watercolor. Oh, and they've got like all of these like fun little shape brushes. Oh, fun. Oh, let me see what the texture is on this marker brush. I think I do like that for line art. I'm gonna move it up here, but I don't know how different it is from just the regular pen. We'll see. Whoa! Oh, that's fun. It's just like a brush that is the like mirror effect. That's interesting. Now I'm just oh, it's the Fire Alpaca logo. That's fun. Okay, so I guess that these are all of the starter brushes. I mean, polka dot is definitely useful as like almost like a screen tone. You can maybe get like a clipping mask and then oh. I think I'll just want to. Oh, it's got like a fun little calligraphy type of stint to it once you get into the. That's interesting. I think I might have to sneeze at some point. So I don't want you to be surprised. I don't want there to be any jump scares. Okay, yeah, I see. Oh, this one has a lot more of a taper to it. Yeah, so I might have to just use a bigger canvas next time, I think is maybe where my issues lie. But you know, this is just a fun little test. I kind of imagine them having like a light, sort of tealish skin. Maybe a little bit brighter. Yeah. Should I probably make like a full like selection clipping mask of this guy? Yeah, probably, but I'm just dicking around, so not the biggest deal. Yeah, I think this world that this character lives in is obviously in like blues and greens. Yeah, maybe their hair is sort of like a darker. Oh, that's interesting. That looks like a very different color on my computer. Well, it might be because I think my computer's in like a, what's it called? Like, it has a little bit of a warm glow. That's like the setting that I put on it, just so it's, a bit easier to look at for me. Especially when it's at night and it's like just the computer screen instead of being like a harsher blue light, it's a bit warmer. Where's my eyedropper? There it is. It's always this hairline that I get. Now I think my issue is that, you know, hair usually goes down into this area. One of the shapes that I really have a lot of trouble with is the shape of hairlines. I don't know what it is. They like really get me. I think that's why sometimes longer hair is easier for me to draw, because like you can just cover their hairline with hair. No, that's not a big enough difference. There we go. And then I think maybe there's like some no, that's too dark. Well, maybe not. Maybe there's like a no, I think that might be a bit too dark for like a second skin tone. Maybe if we could just do like a Hmm. I think I would want it to be a little bit more saturated. No. Let's start back from square one. Okay, we want to go. Let's make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay, I think that might be what we needed. Yeah, it definitely looks more saturated on my computer than it does on my iPad. I wonder which one is truer to form. I mean, I guess I would have to export it and see. Oh no, that's not good. Hold on. Hold on. Nope. Let's redo. Let's redo that. I think a little bit. There we go. A little bit darker. Once again, I'm not doing any crazy shading. This is just a little doodle. So like any, fancy rendering is not, sometimes it can be fun, but it's not anything I'm super interested in at the moment, I guess. No, that's the bluish, not the tealish. Maybe I should have stuck with a more monochromatic than like having a more blue part and a more teal part, but this is what we've got for right now, so. And then we have like a white part. Put that right there. I wonder what these clothes should be. You know what? I'm thinking like a yellow-ish. Like having a nice like blue and yellow. I mean, maybe this is like a they're kind of cute. Look at them. Catching all those very poorly drawn fish. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for what I was doing. I'm going to go to sleep, probably. This has been an hour, so I feel like that's pretty good. So we'll see how this uploads to YouTube and, you know, how well that goes, or how well OBS even recorded this video. So, anyway, if you watched it and made it to the end, thank you. Goodbye. I hope you have a lovely day.